Hello, I'm Andrew, and this is...
And I'm Vincent, and together we work at Sander Fair, one of the great stamp companies of the world, and we see some terrific material crossing our desks every week.
We do. So what have you got to show us today, Vince?
Well, something better than whatever you've brought. That's all I can really tell the folks at home. I saw this collection and I thought, I wonder how many people have seen these stamps in the back of old collections and have not known what they are.
So what country have we got?
South Australia, one of the Australian states before the Federation, and they had 54 departments of state, or thereabouts, which used their own postage stamps, and for accounting and security purposes they put the initials of the department on the stamps, and they are very collectible and they're all very scarce, even the most commonly seen ones. I'm going to pop this under the camera.
You just see the odd one normally, don't you?
You do.
It's quite unusual to have a collection
You
of
do.
this.
So I'm going to it's a bit shiny, but I'm going to play around with the camera and you're all going to be impressed with my cinematography skills. So if I move that in there, and hopefully you can now all see those strange initials on the stamps, and they all stand for something. Unfortunately, two of my favourites are not here, one of them being the lunatic asylum overprints, which I think sometimes sums up what we do here. But you've got, let's have a look here, what have we got? We've got CS, and I think that was Chief Secretary. And let's move down a little bit. What would he be? That's Education Board. Just look down further. We've got some HAs, which is the House of Assembly. For many years nobody really understood these, and it took a very advanced collector to round up a few hundred to write the seminal work on the subject, and they're all worth many tens or even hundreds of pounds each. And I'll just show you something that's particularly scarce, which is what appears to be an unused pair of stamps. Very scarce indeed. So I'm pretty sure that there is no stamp on that page where more than 20 exist. That's how good that collection is. So I'll bet you, Andy, I've got you beat. What did you bring?
Well, King George VI area is always very popular, as you well know. Here's one that most people haven't got in their album. There were several omnibus issues issued during the George VI reign, one of which being the victory after World War II. Now in Malaya, as I'm sure you all know, there was no stamps issued because at the end of the British military rule of the area, there was a lot of political turmoil and none of the sultanates of the states could agree on a stamp issue. So during that period, one was printed in London, given out to delegates and so on around the states. Anyway, here it is. This was an unissued stamp for the 1946 Malayan Union.
Okay, so
now the stamp issue was rejected and they were all sent for the incineration, and of course, like many other things, a few got through.
That is actually quite cool. Because like all collectors, I've seen this issue, and it's not until you see the Malayan Union stamp you realise I've never seen that before.
If you saw it in an album, you just flick past it, you think it was one of the cheapest ones, but it's unusual. And
I remember reading a book about a chap, the only British soldier who'd survived the whole of the conflict with the Japanese, hiding in the forest, and at the end it was all quite sad because they all knew shortly after the end of war former allies would start fighting each other over the future of Malaya. So it's really quite a interesting stamp, even though I think historically speaking my selection is better than yours, but you're going to have to let us know what you think, folks, in the comments below. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Hello again. And it's good night from me.
Yes.
Hello. Hello again. This is Andrew.
Hello.
And he does never introduces me.
No.
Right.